What is up, guys? Welcome. Crypto FUD. And let's jump right into this, guys. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Happy Tuesday. Excuse me. What is going on in the markets? Well, let's just jump right into this. All right. So Bitcoin right now is sitting at around 67,442 to be exact. You guys can see, obviously, since we've basically ran up and hit that above 69,000 level, which I pretty much said that 69K level was going to be a big spot for some resistance. When we go back over to this chart over here, you guys can see this is basically our previous high from 2021. We did break a little bit above, but you guys can see we pretty much got rejected right at that spot. We tested it twice and got rejected. Yesterday, we did have a members stream. Basically, we covered, what's going on with Bitcoin. What do we have for this week? We'll discuss some of that right now. But what I was pretty much getting into yesterday with Bitcoin particularly was that I wouldn't be surprised right now that we see Bitcoin, because it likes to go into channels, and you guys can see that we are kind of trading right now, probably consolidating, and most likely going to stay in this channel. Bottom of the channel that we want to hold, right? It's going to be around that 66,400. And then obviously the top of the channel where we're going to want to keep retesting is going to be around that 69K. 69K area is going to be a big spot that we're going to want to just keep retesting and hopefully find some support above that 69K here soon. But for right now, you guys can see, it's only been, let's see here, it's only been since the 15th. So it's been technically a week since we've broken into this channel. But you guys can see we've literally respected this channel as far as the bottom and the top. And I'm guessing that most likely for right now, we're going to most likely see this coming. Now, we are going to cover a couple things that we do have coming up in the next week or two that is going to probably cause a little bit of turmoil, that we're normally used to seeing, right? So if Bitcoin can at least hold this 66.4 area, particularly, I think we're going to be setting ourselves up in a beautiful, beautiful spot right now. So we'll see how this plays out. Lazy, what's going on, bro? It said 2 people are waiting and I'm not first. It's all right, bro. Troy's in the house. What's going on? Amor. Ricky, what's going on, boys? Rodney, let's go. Let's see here. Never ends. I hope Cock and You makes another run. I miss all the cock jokes on the live streams. I know, bro. We'll have to see. There's going to be some other projects that are going to pop up that we're all going to be like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, it's going to be some crazy name, But like I always said before, I respect them making that name because it, like you said, you go into any of these streams and the cock jokes were everywhere, right? And it's hard to be like, and I'm not, but I'm saying, like, if you see some of those serious streamers and people are like, well, what do you think about cocking you? People are like sitting there trying to hold their composure because it's hilarious. It really is hilarious. So TJ, what's going on? Twan, what's going on, boys? Tim said, I have a feeling Bitcoin won't do much or anything until after the elections. I'm sure we will see a shakeout sometime in between November and then. I mean, that's not a bad, that's a fair analogy, right? But remember, we've already covered, no matter what happens in this election that we have basically in 2 weeks from now, right? Isn't it crazy? We have 2 weeks until this U.S. election's coming, and then it's freaking over with, hopefully, right? We can just move on from the politics, even though we really haven't been too political on the channel, and that's a good thing. I'm just saying, like, everywhere you turn right now, it's just freaking, this guy was at McDonald's, this girl's doing this and that. And you're like, I don't freaking care, dude. What's going on with crypto? I don't care. Right? So hopefully, well, we already know in the next few weeks, we're going to get past that. And hopefully we can just let it just die out as far as the political landscape. And we can just, keep moving. But the point of what I was getting to is no matter who wins this election, guys, I still do believe that Bitcoin is going to do what Bitcoin does. And normally what we've already looked at, we've already covered this. I'm not even going to pull the charts up. We've covered it plenty of times. Every 4-year cycle, which is also coincidentally an election year, Bitcoin just does its own thing, right? So no matter who gets elected, Bitcoin will usually do really well every 4-year cycle. And nothing should change as far as us being in 2024 and this election coming up, right? So now, I did tell you, and we're not going to get into the weeds, but I did tell you, just because you can see like crypto's leaning towards one side, right? Towards, obviously Trump. I think if Trump wins, you're going to see a little bit more euphoria in the market to start off with, right? Versus if you see Kamala win, we might see a little bit of some volatility briefly, but like I said, it does not matter. And 2 weeks after the election, it's going to do exactly what it's supposed to do. It does not matter who is in office, but hopefully whoever does get in office, whether it's one or the other, they're pro crypto. That's all we pretty much can hope for, right? So Ricky said, get ready for the 28th. Like I said at least a month ago. What's going on the 28th? Refresh my memory, bro. Amora said, I want to make a cocking you joke so bad, but I think YouTube won't appreciate it. Yeah, don't get my channel banned, bro, all right? I'm pretty sure they're already shadow banning us already. So Lazy said, which chain you think is going to come out strongest this cycle? Solana, Ethereum, or CRONOS? Oh, well, I mean, listen, I love CRONOS, but CRONOS can't even be put into the same sentence in that same question, right? Love CRONOS, but they have ways to go before they're even going to get, with the big boys. So it's really, which one do you think is going to, maybe Solana, Ethereum, TON, Sui's doing really well. Which one's going to come victorious? Obviously, Ethereum's going to come victorious for this cycle. I've always said this because Ethereum just has a massive market cap, right? It has so many tokens, coins, just the layer 2s that are built on Ethereum that for right now, it's not going to get dethroned, right? And that's perfectly fine. But I think, you go 5-10 years from now, if we continue to see what we're seeing right now, Solana is going to be right neck and neck with Ethereum eventually. So I think Ethereum is going to come victorious at the end of the cycle, as planned, right? But I think Solana is going to do very, very well. I really do believe Solana is going to end this cycle. Like I already said, what was the predictions I was given for Solana? Like somewhere around $300 to $500 potentially. So Red Rum, what's going on, bro? Ricky said, I said steady, then boom. Okay. All right, we'll see how it plays out. Red Rum saying he has 40 billion MILADY now, bro. Nice. What's MILADY been doing nowadays? Let's pull up MILADY real quick. I was telling everybody, Red Rum, I want to get a big bag of MILADY, but I'm like contemplating where I can buy it from because I really don't want to buy it on crypto.com anymore. I don't want to buy it on crypto.com anymore because when it comes to selling, they just take too much off of your plate when you go to sell, So I mean, MILADY is you can pretty much say MILADY has been consolidating. She's been consolidating since August, right? So it's been probably about 2 months. You've seen MILADY kind of just funnel on or basically price action in this like kind of small channel that we've had. The highs being somewhere around this 10.7 mark, and the lows obviously making it around the 68, 69 area. So definitely been consolidating. Hopefully we're setting up for a big run, but I mean, not a bad time to be accumulating in my opinion, especially if you're long term on this project. Small market cap. I think this thing could easily break $1 billion in the thick of this bull run. So we'll see how it plays out. Looking at the daily, guys, you guys can see right now the reason why I put that thumbnail, pretty much, is this, this meme coin super cycle that we've been talking about, is it paused, right? Are we still on track? I think we're still on track, but just like Ricky said, we're going to see some steady movement, probably consolidation. We're going to see light turmoil up and down. We have a couple things, ahead of us. Obviously, we have the elections that are 2 weeks away, right? We have the Fed meeting, right? That's coming out in 15 days from now. Is that 15 days? Let me look on my calendar real quick. See here, 7, 14, 15. Damn, so the Fed meeting is a day after the election because we have 2 weeks until the election. And you guys can see the Fed meeting, 91 freaking percent is calling for thinking that we're most likely going to see some kind of a 25 basis point reduction in interest rates. That would be pretty solid given that we just came off of a 50 basis point. Now we're seeing some kind of a 25. I'm going to be this 8.9% saying that I personally think it's going to be a pause in my opinion. And the reason is because, well, we have to wait till we get the CPI report coming out. But for right now, I just think that, the Feds, they reacted so aggressively initially on that first, the last meeting, the first time they reduced rates 50 basis points. Probably, I think the biggest reduction in interest rates that we've done in like 40 years, they said, right? But given that we went so aggressive on the reduction on interest rates, 50 basis points, they have the the balls on their court in regards to possibly doing some kind of a possible pause, right? And maybe waiting to see how the market and the economy kind of reacts to that. Because when you reduce interest rates, just like when you increase interest rates, it's not going to be something where it's just overnight, right? It's going to be, it takes time for it to really circulate in the market and for the markets to really react to it, might I say. Drinking an IPA. It's called Little Something. Almost finished with these. Almost 8%. Definitely a strong beer right there, guys. Ricky said, am I the only one that loaded up on Canto when it was on special? Red Rum said he's starting to get very, very impatient. Of course, bro. That's what they want you to do. They want you to get impatient, and then you sell off, right? And then, boom, the market starts to shoot off. Gene said, do you think Pepe and Mog Coin can reach $50 billion market cap? I think Pepe can reach $50 billion. I don't know about Mog, bro. I'm very bullish on Mog. Very bullish. I'm just saying Pepe, I have already told you guys, I think Pepe is going to be the top of the meme coins. I do think that Pepe is going to dethrone Dogecoin eventually. That's my prediction. But as far as Mog hitting $50 billion market cap, it could. I'm not saying it can't, but I honestly don't think it's going to hit 50. I think Mog will get into the billions briefly, but you're talking maybe a few billion, not 50 billion. Only one meme coin has made it to $50 billion, and that's Dogecoin. Shiba got up to 42 billion. It didn't get all the way up to 50, but I mean, it's pretty much there, but couldn't make it up to 50 billion either. So I know we're in different times than back in 2021, but nowadays, right, there's going to be so much more competition. It's going to be harder for these meme coins to really get up, and get to those high billion-dollar marks, as far as with the meme coins, just because I think when we get into this, the thick of this meme coin super cycle, may we call it, you're going to have like 10 meme coins that are absolutely killing it, right? 10 meme coins that are going to be coming after each other, fighting for that liquidity, right? Fighting for those top spots, versus you go to 2021 and there was only two that were fighting for the top spot, and that was Dogecoin and Shiba, right? And if you guys remember 2021, there was a time where Shiba dethroned Dogecoin briefly. It happened very briefly, but it dethroned Shiba Shiba dethroned, no Diddy on that one, Dogecoin for like about a week, and then Dogecoin eventually came back up. But the reason why I point that out is because while Shiba was going up, Doge's market cap was coming down, and the reason is because you had money flowing from both, right? You had people jumping out of Doge and going into Shiba, right, and vice versa. And that's what you're going to see. You're going to see that competition, but it's going to be spread out against 10 tokens, 10 coins. But the difference is now to then is there's going to be a lot more money most likely coming into the market at the top of this market, right? Remember, we haven't even hit all-time highs for our market cap. 2021, we hit all-time high for the market. We haven't even hit all-time highs for the market cap yet for all of crypto, and that's because altcoin season hasn't fully taken into effect yet. Once we get into altcoin season, the market cap's going to be, I think, it's going to be a lot higher than what we saw in 2021. So, Carlos, what's going on, bro? Carlos said, Mog has dipped. Is it a good time to buy or wait next week or 2 weeks? We'll pull that chart up here in a second. Amor said, I think two cat coins that are going to mimic Doge and Shiba this super cycle is Popcat and Mog. I mean, they're definitely doing great. Popcat's been killing it, and Mog's been killing it as well. Flips in the house. What's going on, bro? Lazy said, what's that a cock reference? Oh, was that a cock reference? I guess we got the cock jokes coming out, right? Lazy said, Maniki will be good as well. Hell yeah, Maniki's, the market cap's not as big as some of these projects that we're talking about as well. Rodney, yes, no Diddy on that one. Red Rum saying, what's a super cycle? I mean, bro, super cycle is something where what we've been talking about, floating around, not just us, but I'm talking about in the whole crypto space in regards to just a big surge of money coming into the market, right? A big surge of money that's coming in that could possibly come into the market and just make everything go parabolic. That's a super cycle, right? You have bull cycles, right, where you see bull cycles where Bitcoin makes all-time highs and projects do really well, and then you see sometimes out of nowhere super cycles come through where it's one of those times where everything just goes absolutely just like this insane parabolic, right? And I'm saying this time around, meme coins have gotten so much exposure in the market, right? Even big maxis that are just all Bitcoin are, have said, you know what? I don't like meme coins, right? But shit, if I can make 100x, I definitely will jump in on some of these. And that's a different tone that we would see back in 2021, where, I mean, you saw 60% of the market, 70% of the market would be like, that's where the term shitcoin came, right? Because that's what if it wasn't Bitcoin or Ethereum, it was a shitcoin. Right? And that's what they would say. And then all those same people now are all like, hell, they're all in DeFi and they're all in meme coins and stuff like that, because while they were sitting there, oh yeah, shit coins, they were getting, last cycle, they got maybe a 2 or 3x while they saw Dogecoin and Shiba and a lot of other meme coins jump up 50 plus X, right? And, you had all these new investors outperforming all these so-called big, smart investors that were all in Cardano and Bitcoin, Ethereum. They were basically got outperformed, so it is what it is, right? Lazy, I appreciate the promotion. My boy Lazy said you can learn a lot from becoming a member. That is facts, bro. Facts. Especially if you look at some of our early streams, bro. We killed it. We killed it when we first started the memes. I feel like, I mean, we're going to go through all that stuff again, but we literally killed it. I would break down everything on the charts on how to, just everything. Leverage trading, how I do all my trading and stuff like that. Just each stream we would go through it. So we're definitely going to go through that again. So yesterday on our member stream, we did talk about the fear and greed index. Yesterday we were at like 60, I think it was like 63. We were in greed. And I said, this is a lag, meaning usually when we see the fear and greed index, it's not exactly how the markets are looking at that exact point. It's usually lag 12 hours or whatever the case is, at least on coin market cap. So I anticipated that we were going to be coming down today just because Bitcoin was kind of retracing a little bit in the last few days, and it has. We've gone back into neutral, which is perfectly fine, right? So we're just kind of getting back into some price points, maybe for some meme coins that maybe could catch your eye as far as jumping in on some of these projects if you felt like you missed out on the boat. Because remember, this isn't financial advice, but usually going off of fear and greed index, the best times to buy in, right? Remember, this isn't financial advice, but the best time to buy in my opinion, is when we're in extreme fear or we're in fear. When we start getting into neutral greed and extreme greed, neutral, maybe if you're trying to just top off as far as just keep accumulating on certain projects that haven't necessarily gone parabolic, maybe that's not a bad time to jump or to continue to add to your projects. But when you start getting into greed, extreme greed, you should have already, and remember, this isn't financial advice, it's just my opinion, but you should have already accumulated everything you're accumulating in fear and extreme fear. Because remember, when people are when they're in fear and they're terrified, the markets are usually down, right? And that's the best time to take advantage of other people's fear. When we're in greed, when we're in extreme greed, and grandma's asking you about Mog coin, or if she should buy in, what should she buy in, what meme coin she should buy in, that's when you should really pull out your portfolio and start looking at where you're going to be selling off, because that means that could be a big top indicator as far as where we're at in the market. So that's why we always bring up this fear and greed index, just because we always want to keep an eye on it. Usually, in my opinion, this thing right here is like a holy grail as far as just on top of looking at everything we look at as far as the prices, for each particular project, the market cap, circulating supply. I always want to look at the fear and greed index and kind of just see what the markets are telling me as far as confidence in the market right now. So you guys can see we're technically in neutral, but we're right there a hair below greed. So Amore's over here saying our secret plays get dropped on the member streams. Hey, that's facts. Ricky said, when we're in fear, my bank account runs out of money. But then when we're in greed, your bank account loads back up, I would imagine, right? I would imagine, right? Let's look at some DeFi real quick. Let's see what's running right now. Remember, we had some people in here shilling monkey shitting you. Forget my language. This isn't a kid channel, so this project, it's up 3%. Nothing really to run to mom about. Let's see here. Roaring Kitty. Remember those guys that came in that were talking about Roaring Kitty? This project actually has been doing pretty well. Believe it or not. It's actually been doing pretty well. It's still kind of holding the same thing like we talked about with them when they came in. You can see this freaking steep ass trend line. Now look at this. This did drop down to the 382, a little bit below, but you can see it quickly got ate up, and it's still sitting above the 236. So everything still stands with this project in regards to as far as as long as it stays above the 236, still very bullish. This project obviously is trading on Ethereum. I know a lot of us are on Solana and CRONOS, but if anybody is out there trading on Ethereum, keep an eye out on this Roar, $Roar. Might not be a bad move right there. NFK, been kind of stagnant, not looking terrible. We're up about 0.8% right now, not looking too bad. Market cap at around 55K, so not too bad. Billy's down. Used car Flip is down right now. Remember what I told you yesterday, Flip? Remember we were talking about this. I said to be careful. I don't know if was it this project. I remember actually, because I know you asked me about a few projects. Call's down. Let's pull up CRONOS real quick and see. CRONOS kind of sitting in the red right now. We have this CRONOS Alliance, CRONOS Rebel Alliance. 6 days, all right. It's been out for 6 days. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. It's definitely running right now. I would be very cautious, though, just because this thing's up, you know, a considerable amount in the last 5 days. Where's Call, I'm sorry. So you guys remember I sold off. Remember I was buying Call somewhere around here. It shot up. I sold, right? And you can see, good thing I sold. Not saying that I don't like Call. I love Call. Definitely want to get back in. I didn't catch this bottom last time. I bought in like somewhere around here and sold somewhere around here. I definitely want to just kind of wait it out. So my buy zone for Call is going to be anything below this 34, this 35 area is pretty much what I'm looking for. Anything below this 35 area would possibly be a good buy-in, in my opinion, for Call. So I am going to keep an eye out on this. Obviously, this is on CRONOS. JDM, we were just talking about your Roar, bro. We were just talking about it. It's not doing too bad, man. Ricky said, when we're in fear. Okay, I already read that one. What's going on, Rugged? Bullish in the house. What's going on, bro? We got the Roar community in the house. Now, Bullish, I'll pull up your project here in a second. And I'm going to pull up Mog as well. I know somebody was asking me about Mog. So, JDM, we were talking about Roar. I had to give you guys a little shout out because it hasn't been doing that bad lately, right? Not that it was doing bad before, but since you guys brought the project up, I just moved the trend line and I had to move the fib retracement a little higher because it looks like you guys just made a new all-time high in the last like day or two. Looks like back in on the 20th, so about 2 days ago. you can see. But I mean, the trend line still holds pretty well. Obviously, we did break below slightly down to the 382 area, but it looks like it got ate up pretty quick. So I mean, everything still stands as far as this project in regards to if it can hold this 236 for the most part. I think you're going to continue to make new highs, right? So project doesn't look bad. 382, if it does break the 236 to 382, would probably be the line in the sand as far as what it needs to hold to really stay relevant right now and hold this this pump that you would want to call it, right? So the 382 is somewhere around this 42 and a half, 42.55 area. That's going to be a spot line in the sand that needs to hold, but the 236 is really what I would be more focused on. And you can see as long as it can hold the trend or hold this 236, which is at the 52, I think you guys are going to continue to see more highs. So definitely not looking bad at all, bro. Old, what's going on, bro? What is going on, bro? Let's pull up, because I know somebody was asking me like 5 minutes ago about MOG coin. We'll pull MOG right back up. Oh, okay. So who was asking me about MOG? Let me go back. Somebody was asking me about MOG. Well, the question was they were asking, they're like, do you think right now is a good time to buy into MOG, or should they possibly wait? And obviously, you already know what I'm going to say. I don't, no financial advice, right? But in my opinion, you can see MOG almost like Roar, right? Almost like Roar has this crazy trend line, right? It has this crazy trend line that you can see for right now. So, I mean, with MOG particularly, look at this freaking V shape. Crazy. So for MOG particularly, buying in right now, you would be buying close to an all-time high, right? So you have to take that in consideration. 236, if MOG can hold this 236 at the 19, same thing. It's going to continue to probably at least hover around these all-time highs, if not continue to make all-time highs, right? So in my opinion, if I was interested in really buying in on MOG, which I am, but I'm not buying in at these all-time highs, I personally would just have patience and wait to see if maybe we're going to see somewhat of a small retracement or any kind of retracement as far as, better prices to jump in on the project, in my opinion. So that's what I would say with MOG, because MOG has been looking pretty damn bullish, in my opinion, for the last few months. Obviously, we saw, this big drop, but the whole market dropped at that time. So if you were able to take advantage of the fear in the market and you bought in, you're sitting pretty on the on MOG. Shout out to Flip with the $20 super chat, bro. I appreciate the support, brother. He said, used car and track. Can used car recover? I'm holding anyway, bro. Okay, let's pull it up. Did we talk about in the members stream yesterday, did we talk about used cars? I don't know. I don't remember if we brought up used car, but obviously you can see the trend line, is pointing towards the downside for right now. So I know you're asking, can it recover? It just dropped below the 618. So what I would say about used car, I think we talked about this. I'm trying to remember if this was used car or if it was another one, but I want to say, with used car, you called it great when you jumped in back here and you rode it up. Now what you're seeing is that I don't know if the hype is dying down again on used car. Hopefully it's not, or if it maybe, you can find some support. 618 broke. The next spot would probably be somewhere around the 786, potentially at around this 1 cent mark, right? That's going to be a big spot for some support and possibly a good spot for it to, overwhelm the sellers, and the buyers can potentially come in looking at that as maybe a good spot to jump in. What I would say is it going to recover? Obviously, I don't know that for a fact, but the facts is that the project right now is trending towards the downside, right? It sounds like you're holding for the long term. So all I can say, not financial advice, but what I do in these situations is, if I'm determined to hold long term, I keep buying small increments and just dollar cost averaging in, and I just keep bringing my average down and accumulating for whenever the project finally does get a nice move towards the upside, so I can basically, jump out is pretty much what I say. So, You know, you jumped in at a perfect time. I don't know. I know you said you're still holding, so I would keep an eye out. 618, hopefully it can keep retesting that 17 area, right, and eventually break above. But you're looking at the 786 at around the 1 cent mark as being a big spot for some support. You can see as it was moving up, the 786 was a spot for some resistance, and you can see it bounced off of it a few times before it started to shoot up. So 786 at the 1 cent mark is going to be your spot that you're probably looking for. The 1, maybe the 11 mark to be exact. That's what you're going to be looking for as far as some support. And then I guess you got to put in that hodl, that hold for dear life. And then a track. We'll pull up track here. Travel said, thanks, brother. Big love from the rural community. Definitely, guys. You guys have been nothing but respectful coming in. And like I said, we don't mind talking about any other projects. We actually mentioned you guys in the Discord. A couple people were like, bro, that you guys came in and you guys were very respectful when you came in, right? And I appreciate that. Sometimes we'll get flooded with shill of people bringing in just bullshit tokens and stuff, and they're just like over and over just shilling. I have to like mute them or I have to kick them, right? Because I'm like, bro, I don't mind pulling up your project, but like, don't freaking spam the chat and stuff like that, you know? So I appreciate you guys coming in and being respectful for everything. So thank you guys so much. And we'll definitely, I put your project on the watch list, right? So we'll definitely keep an eye on it as we continue to move on. So now let's pull up my boy Flip. He said track. Flip, are you talking about on Ethereum, or is this a traditional on the traditional market? Why do I feel like track is probably... Okay, yep, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I have it right here. Let's pull it up. So what are we at? Around 46 cents. Market cap 193 million right now. So not looking too bad. So pulling up the fib retracement on this one, Flip, you can see obviously the 786 is a big spot. I feel like the same thing we just talked about on the last project, right? Because you can see similar, same thing, trend pointing towards the downside for this project as well. So 786 is somewhere around the 44 mark. You can see we already bounced off of it twice recently, holding it as some support. It actually, that 786 is like a big spot for some support, because you can see it has bounced once, 2, 3 times at the 786, and then prior to that, it actually was hitting its head at the 786 as well, as far as hitting it as resistance. So what I would say, bro, is if you're not involved in this project yet, obviously not financial advice, anything below the 786, which is aka the 44 mark, anything below, I say would be a good spot to accumulate on this project. If you already are holding on the project, I don't know where your price point is, but you know, this thing is going to eventually have to find somewhere to find some support before it starts to take off. Now, one thing I will say is the 786, you already bounced off of it. As of now, you can see it's kind of been going sideways for right now, right? You can see as of this drop, which was at the beginning of August, right? You can see that you've kind of been teeter-tottering between the 786 and the 618, right? 618 obviously being resistance, 786 being support. So you can see you're bouncing off of in between this channel. So usually that's a sign of consolidation, right? So hopefully the bottom's in. You found that support at the 786. What I would say is if you're looking for price points to jump in, not financial advice, anything below that 44 area, right? You're at 46. Anything below that 44, 45 area would be a good spot to accumulate, because obviously if it bounces below there, if you look previously, that's been a good spot for accumulation. And then you can see each time it is gone up. Well, not each time. It only dropped down in here, and you can see obviously it's ran up to make a local high, not an all-time high. So 786 definitely has to hold, bro. Hopefully you're in consolidation, and you'll see a nice little bounce towards the upside. The 618 resistance, 67 cents. 67.5 cents to be exact. Somewhere around there is where you're going to need to break as far as resistance. You break that 618, and then you're probably talking about potentially a nice little breakout. But market cap, under 200 million, so still relatively low. Trading on Coinbase, Kraken. You have KuCoin, Crypto.com. I mean, it's on pretty much Gate.io on a lot of these major exchanges. It's on one of the big two, right? We have either Binance or Coinbase. It's on Coinbase, so it has a lot of exposure. This potentially could be a big play right here. Potentially, right? So, again, like I said, keep an eye out on that 44 mark, 786 as support. Anything below there, good spot to accumulate. And thank you again for the $20 super chat, bro. I really do appreciate that. And looks like JDM came through. What's going on, brother? Roar community, appreciate you. Hey, right back at you, bro. I appreciate you guys. I really do. I thank you guys so much. Troy said, all right, I'm back. What did I miss? Ay. Well, let's jump in, guys. Let's jump in. If you guys have any other questions on any projects, let me know. We'll definitely pull it up. But I do want to cover a couple other things that we have going on. Remember, we already covered. We have the FOMC meeting coming up in 2 weeks from now, guys. So keep an eye out on that volatility for the FOMC meeting coming out in about 15 days. As we start to approach, basically in the next week and a half, you're going to start seeing a little bit more volatility in regards to just the markets kind of not unsure of what we're going to see, right? If we see that the 25 basis point decrease in interest rates that the market is calling in right now, you're going to see the markets react positively. If we see a pause, you might see the markets, maybe a little bit more volatility, but I think after a few days, it'll kind of blow over, so those are going to be the two things that we're kind of waiting. But obviously you guys already know coming up into the meeting, it's going to be some volatility. So, oh, that's right, Bullish. I'm sorry, brother. Let me pull up his project real quick. My boy asked me. Ryu Jin. Excuse me. Ryu Jin, been out for a little over 8 months. Market cap $9.5 million. Liquidity at about 600,000. So not looking too bad. It's not looking bad at all, actually, for the numbers. Pulling up the fib real quick from my boy Bullish. I hate that fib retracement, so let's move it. Yeah, this one looks a little bit more accurate. So you can see, brother, obviously bottom being at the beginning of when this project dropped. Right, I don't think this project's going to get anywhere near those levels, but for right now, the bottom of the fib for us is going to be 8 zeros and 43, kind of pretty much where you see it bounced briefly previously on the 15th. So you can see, obviously, the 786 is acting like some resistance for right now. So I wouldn't be surprised, bro, if you maybe potentially, I'm looking to see if it's maybe bounced. Well, you're actually at a support level. Let me see here. So you have support in between the 786 and the bottom of the fib, somewhere around this 90 mark right here. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're going to come back and potentially retest this, because obviously you can see we've retested this multiple times. And if you guys want to learn how I find these support levels and resistance levels, obviously even with doing the fib retracements, that's something that we cover on the members only stream. So check it out, only $5 to join. But you guys can see this 90 mark is most likely where it's going to come back to retest. If it does break that 90, bro, you're probably looking at the bottom of the fib, somewhere around this 47 or potentially the 42 mark. So with that being said, I mean, the project doesn't look terrible, right? I mean, volume over 100K, market cap not looking bad, liquidity looks solid like we already talked about, but you can see the trend is that it's making lower highs as it continues, right? So just be aware of that. If you buy in or if you've already bought in, you might be holding for a little while before you see some kind of a big move with this project. So, and if you do see a big move, it's most likely going to be running up towards, if it breaks above the 786, 618 is going to be going to be a major spot for some resistance at around the 7.0s and the 2.4. So, but if it jumps up like that, bro, you better secure that bag. Not financial advice, because I mean, it's not going to give me my percent. That's a solid move right there. You're talking about probably a potentially 50-60% move from just where we're at right now to the 618. So good luck with that, brother. Good luck with that. And then someone's asking about MILADY. We just pulled up MILADY a little while ago. So pretty much not getting into it too much, but for MILADY particularly, what I've been saying is that MILADY right now is basically, it's in a consolidation spot right now, right? You can see this thing has literally been sitting, consolidating for the last, like, what is this, since August, right? So for the last 2 months, MILADY has been in these swings, but really, if you really zoom out, this is consolidation. This is just trading sideways for right now. Usually when a project's doing this, it's setting up for something, right? I will tell you, MILADY is at the whim of Bitcoin and the actual market, right? So when the market starts doing good, you start seeing MILADY up 20-30%. But as soon as the market starts to turn back and Bitcoin even just moves like 1-2% down, MILADY starts retracing fast. Obviously, because the market cap is so low on MILADY, which could be a very good thing, obviously, because when we start moving, MILADY moves fast. So with that being said, not financial advice, I've been telling you guys, only reason why I haven't been buying a big bag of MILADY, getting my bag back, is because I potentially been kind of questioning where I'm going to buy MILADY. Crypto.com has been just taking advantage of whenever I make sales. You know, they're taking 20+% profits off of my stuff. And if I'm making sales, you know, potentially in the multi-thousands, they're taking thousands of dollars from me every time I sell. You know, so it's just like, it aggravates me. Obviously, I'm happy. I'm like, hell yeah, I just doubled or tripled my money, you know, on whatever projects I'm talking about. But at the same time, I'm like, but I just freaking gave these people $500, $1,000 on that freaking, you know, sell, you know, so it's aggravating. So I've been kind of holding off on buying on MILADY, but if let's just say I could get in on MILADY right now and I like for cheap and I wanted to, right now would be a solid spot for some dollar cost averaging in my opinion, just because you can see that MILADY for now has found a bottom and it's been just trading sideways for right now. So hopefully the markets, you know, will see some big movements with Bitcoin, you know, in the next coming weeks. And I think that MILADY will follow behind it. And I still have big predictions. MILADY will break above $1 billion in this in the thick of this meme coin cycle. So Ricky said, I'm on the hunt for big moves before they happen. JDM, a lot of crypto projects are consolidating right now, coming from a big run up this last weekend. I agree. I exactly agree. Gina said, what about Call Crypt? Did you ever find out why Call was running a short time ago? Gina, I did not find out why Call was going crazy. And we had the Call community come in, right? And all they did was come in, and what do they always do? They come in and they're like, Call, right? And then they're gone, you know? So they don't, I'm like, bro, what's going on? They're like all in the Discord. And I'm like, what, can you guys tell us why Call is running right now? Nothing. They just come in and do their little call stuff, and then they just fly away. So you imagine, I'm not in their Discord, but imagine in their Discord, it's probably just like, Call. And then someone else is like, Call. Right? All day just sitting there just like, Call. That's how they all talk. They probably have their own little bird language. All right, guys. Someone told me my jokes were cheesy or corny, so I gotta throttle back on the jokes here. So here's why ApeCoin has suffered a harsh reversal. So ApeCoin, you guys are familiar with ApeCoin, and let me check something out here. Okay, it's not too bright. Sometimes my the screen, I have such a big screen in front of me, my face goes like ghost white because I'm looking at a white screen. So if you guys remember, ApeCoin's been running. If we look at the monthly, other than this SPX, ApeCoin's up still 73.6%. This thing started running like crazy. So ApeCoin experienced a sharp reversal on October the 22nd, which is today, erasing some of the gains made in the previous 5 days. ApeCoin, associated with Yuga Labs, the creators of Bored Ape Yacht Club, retreated to $1.44, down nearly 20% from its highest level this week. Despite this drop, it remains 200% above its lowest point in August. The crash occurred 2 days after Yuga Labs launched ApeCoin, or ApeChain. It's much anticipated layer 3 network on Arbitrum, or Arbitrum 1. ApeChain allows developers to build applications in industries such as gaming, decentralized finance, and non-fungible tokens, NFTs. Additionally, ApeChain enables ApeCoin holders to generate returns by staking their Ape tokens, a process where users delegate their tokens to secure the network and earn rewards in return. ApeCoin's unique feature is its automatic yield mode, allowing tokens to revisit automatically maximize returns. Putting a pause to this, one thing I do like about this, right? I'm not invested in ApeCoin, but all of us in here, we all own meme coins, right? And I think that this right here, what we just read, is pretty dope, right? Because you're seeing that ApeCoin, right, is basically trying to utilize fundamentals on, with this project, right? Them dropping, what do they say? Them dropping layer, basically, what does this say? Layer 3 network on Arbitrum 1, right? That's big, right? That's pretty much, it's letting their users or the people that are invested in their project know that, yeah, they are a meme coin. Obviously, they're affiliated with the Bored Ape Yacht Clubs, the NFTs, right? But what I always tell you guys, right, about meme coins, they start off usually like you have Dogecoin and Shiba. They start off meme coins, right? There's just strictly hype. But as they evolve, good meme coins will eventually try to think outside the box and they try to do other things. Dogecoin, as much as you don't really hear about it, Dogecoin is doing stuff in the back end, and so is Shiba, right? They have Shibarium, right? And I think that this is pretty cool for ApeCoin, that they're trying to step out of that, that traditional meme coin of just strictly hype and starting to try to add, staking and other fundamentals onto their project. I think that's pretty cool, because like I said, they started off, obviously affiliated with the NFT. They had NFTs, but they were, just a token that really just ran off of hype, and now it seems like they're really trying to do a lot more. So data from CryptoSlam shows that BAYC sales have dropped significantly this year. The total sales reaching 7.1 million in September, down from 41 million in March. As it peaks in January, at its peak in January 2021. They're talking about the NFTs. Had the Bored Yacht Club had sales of 346 million. So you can see last month they did, or 2 months ago, September, they did $7 million, coming off of back on their highs, doing $300 million, right? So you can see the interest in NFTs right now have gone down. But we were talking about this in our members stream yesterday, that I've seen this plenty of times in crypto where things kind of go dormant, right? And people stop talking about it because it's not the cool thing to talk about, or whatever the case is. Because if you notice, mostly crypto tries to follow the hype, right? They try to, whatever they're hearing, they're like, oh yeah, and then they start buying in, right? So it's just anything with crypto usually is hearsay, and that's how people come across these projects or whatever the case is. Right now, not too many people are talking about NFTs, right? And we looked at the floor price for the Bored Ape Yacht Clubs, and right now, coming off of, if you guys remember, these things, some of these, depending on the rarity, these things were selling for over $1 million. Now, floor price average for these things right now, 10 Ethereum, right? Which is still, a hefty price, but you're talking about $25,000, potentially $30,000 for an NFT compared to multi-million dollars at some point, right? So I'm not saying go out and go, mortgage, take money out of your mortgage and go buy an NFT or anything like that. I'm just saying keep your eye out on some of these NFTs, because right now potentially could be maybe a big move into jumping in on some of these crazy. And I'm not talking about just like these typical. I'm talking about like the board, and some of these other NFTs that were just straight killing it during the time. I do think that NFTs are going to have a comeback eventually, right? So just throwing that out there. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. And you can see the chart obviously, went like dormant, and then boom, they freaking shot up almost to $2. They were trading at the time somewhere around 70 cents, and they jumped up to almost $2, about $1.80 before seeing somewhat of a retracement as of now. So definitely, something I wanted to show you guys. Now, something I thought was freaking hilarious, guys. We're not even going to get into it much, but I think it's so funny. These old school senators and stuff like that, right? That we need to get out of office, right? You can read the top of this article right here, and it says very few transactions happen on crypto. That right there, that sentence is just like so funny. Very few transactions happen on crypto unless it's drugs. Do you hear this? Oh my gosh, bro. We have to find out who these people are and get them out of office right here, because these are the people that are trying to hurt crypto. And it's just like, it's hilarious. Like the fact that this person, whoever this person is, says very few transactions happen, but if there are transactions, most of it is in drugs. I'm not even going to incriminate any of us, but I don't know about you, but I don't know anybody that freaking like is out there freaking peddling drugs, pairing up with drugs and asking you to send it to their MetaMask wallet or whatever the case is. Like, I don't know. I'm sure it happens out there, right? But I mean, it's just like, come on, dude. Are you kidding me? This isn't 2010 anymore. Crypto's here to stay. I didn't even want to read into this to give it any kind of, any publicity. But at the same time, I think it's just so funny that we still have people that are so small-minded that, that still think whenever, and it's just like Gary Gensler and all his cronies, whenever they tell you anything bad about crypto, it's usually that it's illegal activities that are happening and all that good stuff. And I don't disagree that, yes, there are people across the world, right, that are basically sanctioned from using the US dollar that have to use, crypto, right? And I understand, right? I don't necessarily agree with it, but at the same time, people are always going to find a way, right? But you can't shame the other 98% of people that are like us, that are just, trading crypto just like we do with the stock market, or we're buying crypto and holding because we are, enthusiasts and we actually believe in this technology, right? You can't sit there and chill us or include us with the small percent of illicit activities that are happening with crypto versus the dollar, right? The dollar is probably the most illicit, currency that there is out there, so I just think it's hilarious. I think it's funny, guys. We're going to jump into some crypto Twitter here, but let's jump into the chat real quick. Lazy said, hold on. Ricky said, hey, man, I'm a call, dude. Yeah, but you don't speak call, bro. I'm telling you, when they come in here, you'll know. I'll point them out. They just come in here and the whole chat just goes call, right? And I'm asking them questions. I'm like, hey, bro, you're in the Discord or you're a freaking dev. I'm like, what's going on with the project? Call. That's all they're saying. I'm like, all right. Well, I'll have to use Google Translate and find out exactly what the hell. I don't speak call, Lazy said, if you need a reason to join Crip call early on member stuff and turned $5 into $5 join fee into 12 grand. Hey, those are facts there, bro. Lazy, and we're not going to get into it because I know everybody knows, but we actually, we called out call when it first dropped. It was at like $300,000-$400,000 market cap, and some of these guys in here, myself included, made some solid money off that play. And I dropped it on everybody, right? And obviously I'm not giving out financial advice, but wanted to make sure you guys were aware of that. And it played out very well for everybody. They don't always play out like that, but that is something Lazy's just bringing up. That was like a big move right there that some people in here, bro, they were telling me like, bro, I just made 40 grand. I'm like, damn. I'm like, how much you put in? They're like $500, $1,000. I'm like, dude, I'm so happy for you, bro. I really am. I'm so happy that anybody that's watching the channel, if you make any kind of money off of this stuff, I'm just ecstatic for you, because I'm right here doing the same thing. So let's see here. My boy Lark, 70K Bitcoin is loading. And it's gonna happen like that out of nowhere, right? It's just gonna come. It's gonna be like boom right there in your face, bro. That would be an epic right there. Imagine jumping out on stage like that. That'd be pretty epic. Let's see here. May we have a giga pump that makes us jump up and start doing the cha-cha dance. Listen, Bitcoin hits 100 grand. When Bitcoin hits 100 grand, I will do the cha-cha live on stream, all right? I'll look a little bit better than DJ Khaled, but I will do the cha-cha on live once we hit a million. Once we hit $100,000. Look at this. Me managing my $187 in crypto. Ay. Look at this. Do you remember the crypto guy we ignored? He's back. Uh-oh. I know a lot of you guys are married, so we'll just keep it moving. The dog's driving. Let's see what he's saying. Listen, I love, shout out to Crypto. Let's see what he's got to say.
100,000 is going to come in no time. The moment we break 70,000 US dollar on a weekly candle with volume support is the moment it's going to be champagne bottles. We can make party and everything because 100,000 will be just in front of us. Like, I'm talking days, maximum like 3 weeks, 4 weeks or something. That is just a 50% gain.
So you guys see what he said? And now this guy's smart, right? I mean, maybe you don't agree with everything he says, but this guy right here, he turned not too much money into hundreds of millions of dollars. Obviously jumped into Bitcoin very early, but he's saying what I've been telling you guys. He's saying once we find volume, or basically AKA support above 70K, $100,000 is going to be right around the corner. And I've been telling you guys, as soon as Bitcoin can find support above, I call the 69,000 area, right? That 69K. Hold on, I'm not even have my right chart up here. The 69,000 area right here, which is the white line. Now, the reason why I'm always calling this white line, which is the 69K level, such a big spot that we have not, even when we hit all-time highs, we never found support at 69K when we retraced. And the reason why I say this is such a pivotal spot is because $69,000 was our 2021 all-time high, right? We need to find that as support, right? Even if we break above into this next channel and we consolidate for the next 4 weeks, that would be such a big and such a bullish move. Guys, I don't think you comprehend. When we find that support above the 69K and 69K is the bottom, $100,000 is going to be right around the corner. Now, you guys already know what I've already said. 100K, I think is going to be a big spot to break. I think when we get up close to 100K, it is going to struggle because the fact that we're getting so close to 100K, you're going to have big whales, big people that have been holding for so long, probably selling at 95, 96, 97, 98,000, right? You're going to have a lot of people selling off, right, that have been holding for so long, given that we know that $100,000 mark is going to be a big spot for resistance. So, we'll talk about that when it all happens, but right now, like I keep telling you guys, as soon as we can get that support, and I support meaning that we are bouncing off the 69K no diddy on that, we're going I'm telling you 85K is going to be right around the freaking quarter, and most likely 100K not too far behind it. So I do agree with Crypto on that one for sure. And Crypto Rover always coming through with the great charts here, and he's pretty much just pointing out the U.S. elections, right? Every time you can see, this is back in 2017, or I'm sorry, is this 2016? Yeah. 2016, you can see down here on the bottom left corner, the election, right? And then look what happened. We went absolutely parabolic, right? Does not matter who freaking wins. 2020, the elections, right? We absolutely went parabolic. Not as much as we did back in 2016, but you guys already know Bitcoin ran from basically like 20K up to that $69,000 area that we're talking about, right? You can see this double top that we made, right? So you can see this crazy run up right after the elections. Now, what do we have? We have the elections, like I said, within the next 2 weeks, exactly to today. 2 weeks from now, we have the elections. What are you guys thinking, right? Is it going to play out like we've seen this would be pretty much the last, 12 years, I believe, right? No, 10 years. Pretty much last 10 years, what we've seen a massive run usually following the election. So hopefully we're seeing that again, guys. Hopefully we're seeing that again. And, a lot of stories talking about BlackRock, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo. They've been accumulating like crazy on Bitcoin from what I'm hearing. And I'm sure they're probably not just buying Bitcoin. Solana's been doing really well the last couple days. Look at Solana. I wouldn't be surprised if we covered an article yesterday about a big Wall Street company that's been picking up a lot of Solana, right? Their company, their ticker sign is $ HODL, right? And they're basically a big company that runs on Solana, and they said they've been just accumulating like crazy by the millions. And you can see since that came out, that news, Solana's been running. Even today, even when Bitcoin today has kind of been stagnant or retracing, you can see Solana has been playing with that 170 area. So definitely looking very very bullish. And we already know Solana runs, NFK is going to be running. We need Elon to tweet out NFK if anybody has the hookups. All of us in a year from now. You guys already know. I already showed you guys when I went down to the Bahamas. I'll be doing it again. That live stream when I went on to the Bahamas was a big stream. It actually was. I'm going to definitely do that again. I'm not going to play the music because I'll get copyrighted, but it says point of view crypto investors in 2025. Is that going to be a no FUD convention? Mars, I'm just checking the chat. He said he bought 1,000 ICP today. Nice. You bought $1,000 of ICP, or you bought 1,000 ICP? Both of them, definitely a big move, right? Definitely a big move. But if you bought 1,000 ICP, bro, that's a freaking. Do we call you like almost a whale? What do we call you, bro? I will tell you, I've owned almost that much ICP at one time. Almost. Haven't picked up. That's like a goal there. Pick up 1,000. But you can see ICP has been holding a solid trend for now since it local bottom at around 5 something. I actually remember I told you guys I bought in and I sold, right? And then I bought back when we dropped and I sold somewhere back here. I have not bought back in on ICP as of now. So, but definitely ICP is one of those projects that I always hold dearly. I know a lot of people don't like it. They obviously don't know the fundamentals behind it. What do we have coming up? So durable goods coming out on the 25th. That's on Friday, I believe. Look at this article. It said 53% of Binance traders are shorting Bitcoin. What does this mean for the price action? After several weeks of sustained upward momentum, Bitcoin is currently holding above 66. The price has recently encountered a resistance at the crucial 69,000 level, which is expected to take time and significant liquidity to overcome. So we're not going to read into it anymore, but you guys can see 53% of Binance traders, and they're talking about obviously options and leverage, are shorting Bitcoin for right now, potentially waiting for some kind of a move towards the downside. I don't know. Next article we're going to see about that is going to be Binance, 53% of Binance users get wrecked is going to be the next article we're going to see. That's going to be the next article. Well, it looks like everything's doing all right, guys. Like I said, we're kind of in this consolidation mode for right now. A couple levels that we're going to keep an eye out for Bitcoin particularly. Like I told you guys yesterday in the members stream, we're going to most likely chop in this channel for right now. 66,400, somewhere around there has to hold. And then obviously we want to keep retesting this 69,000 area. Hey, 69. We want to keep retesting that area. Hopefully we can break above that 69,000. Until then, though, we're going to most likely chop around in this channel. Remember, we have the elections in literally 2 weeks. The day after the election, we have the FOMC meeting. So I'm expecting, some volatility, to be honest. The elections, the reason why we're going to get volatility around the election time is just because of the unknown, right? The FOMC meeting, we can see that obviously for right now, this is going to change, but 91% are basically calling for some kind of a 25% basis point deduction. So, we'll see how that plays out. But I do think that with those two things happening literally simultaneously, like within a day of each other, it's going to probably cause some volatility, right? So we're probably looking at in the next week and a half, the markets are going to be swinging like crazy, guys. So just be prepared. Be prepared if you're looking to maybe buy in on stuff. Maybe you might get an opportunity, a brief opportunity coming up. Who knows? Maybe the markets just start going crazy, rallying, right? We've just looked at charts showing you what happens post-elections. This cycle has been a little bit, a lot different than what our normal, our normal 4-year cycles are. So expect the unexpected, right? Expect the unexpected. So Lazy said, "Give me an eighth for 3 billion, milady." He's talking about what I was talking about earlier about the buying drugs on crypto or with crypto. That was crazy, dumb. Now I see all y'all's I see all your comments. Gina, I'm so sorry, girl. I just saw your comment. Let's see here. Gina said, "Can you please check NFK and win?" I'll pull up win. We checked up NFK earlier. I'll pull it up though. Win. So you can see win, almost the same thing as like what we saw for ICP right now. Obviously a slow but sure trend towards the upside for right now, right? So I mean, doesn't look bad. Nothing much going on. I think a project like win is really not going to move until we see the markets move for right now. So market cap right now, it says 74, about 75 million. So I mean, still a micro market cap. So hopefully this plays out. Obviously support on the trend line. If it breaks that trend, you're looking at around the 93 mark as a big spot for some support. You can see we bounced off of that multiple times. So if you're looking to accumulate anything below the 93 mark, not financial advice, just my opinion, would be a good spot to buy in on win. And then obviously for NFK, we were talking about this earlier. Nothing much going on right now on the charts, but one thing that Troy pointed out is that you can see we're consolidating to the side as well. Usually when you see that, you're usually going to see some kind of a big move. Hopefully it's towards the upside for NFK. So, but you can see for now, we have been holding sideways. This spot right here is a big spot for some support. You can see we bounce off of it multiple times. It's resistance for right now until we can break above. And that's going to be somewhere around that 30 mark, a little bit above where we're at right now. But I will tell you, regardless, we're looking good, guys. We honestly are looking good. Liquidity looks solid. Market cap still, looking strong, but still so small that when we start seeing money flowing in, this thing's going to pump like crazy, in my opinion. So definitely, we're going to keep an eye. Obviously, we watch this thing all day, every day. But the fact that it looks like we found somewhat of a bottom for now, I think only up is going to be the next move. So we'll see how this plays out. And then tomorrow's Wednesday, so Be ready for no FUD koala by Wednesday or whatever we've called it. Bullish said, do you think Pepe can delete any more zeros this cycle? Oh yeah, I think Pepe is going to be, like I keep telling you guys, I think Pepe is going to be the biggest meme coin when the dust clears. I think Pepe is going to be the biggest meme coin in my opinion. And I don't even own any Pepe. Bullish said, should I wait a little bit or is it a good time to buy? What are you talking about? What project? I mean, Bullish, obviously not financial advice, but you know, given that we have so much volatility, I think ahead of us in the next week or two, my opinion, maybe just keep an eye on the market and see if maybe we see some kind of a retracement. I think it's going to be quick, right? Because like we just saw for the last 4 year, the last 2 4-year cycles, post election, usually the markets do really well, right? Ricky said, it would be nice to catch a dip, but it's not guaranteed we'll dip. Exactly. Bullish said, yeah, I was figuring out getting some now and then later if we dip as well. Just have patience, bro. JDM said, all right, guys, I'm heading out. Once again, thanks for the reviews. Much respected. JDM, respect to you and the whole community, bro. We thank you so much. We appreciate you guys for coming in and joining us. Definitely. We do appreciate it. And I think with that being said, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. Again, Bitcoin, we got to hold this 66.4 as support. 69,000 obviously is going to be the spot that we need to just keep retesting. Until then, expect maybe some just sideways action for most of the projects for right now. So maybe you'll see some projects here and there, that'll do really well and then kind of retrace fast because the markets are kind of just stagnant. But for right now, like I said, we have a lot going on in these next 2 weeks that we're going to be all over. So just be prepared. Be prepared for some volatility. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I thank you guys, everybody that sent the super chats. Thank you so much for everything. I really do appreciate you guys. Have a safe night. If you need anything from me, hit me up in the Discord. I'll be around. All right, guys? Thank you. And if you're new here, make sure you guys slap that like, hit that subscribe button, and consider becoming a member. All right, guys. See ya.